What up? What up? What up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is the first week of the new month of February. It's the month of love. And I feel sorry for all you people out there that got significant others with birthdays or anniversaries in this month, because you better go do some work and earn some cash, because it'll break the bank this month. But today we've got a great show. Big lineup of guests. We've got Sophia Davenport, owner, coach, player, you name it. She's doing it all for the Houston Bandits. She's also brought her crew of guys. We're going to have the bros on. We got Ben Collins. We got John Young, Aaron Medina, Raphael Gallo, all joining us today to talk all things Houston Bandits and 2025 United Grid League season. But just like I said, it's the month of love, and you got a lot going on, and you need some cash. So I'm no different than y'all. I need that cash. I got to pay the bills and support the love that goes on in this house, because a house full of girls is very expensive. And with that, I need to plug the sponsor so I can continue to do the things that we do around here. The In Off the Bench Podcast Network's Grid and Grind Show, brought to you by Chinook Seedery. Whether you're on the field or in the boardroom signing deals, Chinook helps you get the job done. 8 flavors, mild to wild. College baseball season coming up in 12 days. 12 days. And, if you haven't picked up your bags, you need to go get them. Smokehouse Barbecue, Cinnamon Toast. Go get it. Mix them together. Mix and match all the combos. Make your own. But I'm telling you right now, you'll enjoy it, and you'll appreciate it, and you'll love it, and you'll never go to another sunflower seed again. Memphis City Designs. Get your brands, gear, and logos on everything from shoes to underoos. Got your In Off the Bench gear there. Get your colors for your favorite college team. Mix and match your colors. Get any color wave that you want. They'll hook you up. They'll get your needs covered. Dr. Vic Robinson at Relief Chiropractic. Go see him. He's got the magic hands. He's rejuvenating people. He's adding years to their life. He gives you a free consultation. He assesses your needs, and he puts together a tailored, custom prescriptive plan that's going to help you live the life that you wanted to live and feel the way that you want to feel. So go see him at Relief Chiropractic. And finally, Old Dominick Distillery. Experience 150 years of tradition in the heart of downtown Memphis. From bourbon to vodka, whiskey to gin, Old Dominick's got you covered. Stop in today for a tour or to pick up your favorite bottle. And with that, we got to get to the show. We got the crew of the Houston Bandits, but we have the leader of that crew joining us, Sophia Davenport. What up? What up? I'm good. And, it's nice to see you again. It's been some months since we've talked, but when I asked you to come on, you said, I can't just come by myself. I got to bring a crew of people. So let me introduce everybody to the Houston Bandits, the bros, the guys. First off, we got Aaron Medina. Aaron, what's up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm good to see everybody, man. Yes, sir. We got John Young. John, what's up, brother?
What's up? Good to be here.
Yes, sir. We got Raphael Gallo. Raphael, what's up, dude?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm blessed. And Ben Collins. Ben, what's popping?
What's going on? What's going on?
Well, guys, I guess for y'all, it hasn't been a long transition, but I think for Sophia, these past few months have probably been pretty long and pretty grueling. But I want to talk to you first and foremost, Sophia.
Long and hard.
I got to ask, how you doing?
We're good.
Let's start there.
Cold weeks or whatever our winter was. And now we're all ready, getting ready to do practices and teach these guys how to do some triads, which I'm excited to watch John do some triads. But yeah, we're good, man. It's been fun recruiting. It's been fun watching people turn in videos and try to get themselves on the team. And got a good crew.
Yeah, I've been seeing some videos out there, and we'll get to all that. But when we talked in November, right before Thanksgiving, everything was new, and you weren't really sure what you needed to do, but you had a lot to do. So on that to-do list was filling a roster, teams, a coach, GM, sponsors, you name it, it was on the list. But I'll ask you, of that to-do list, what has been done as of February 3rd?
As of February 3rd, we are almost full roster on men and women's side. That should be concluded by the end of this week. Got a few people that are, so to speak, that I've got you and commitment things to see if they're a fit. Then we also have sideline coach Rob Guzman coming in to make sure nobody throws a temper tantrum or throws a clipboard when something goes wrong or doesn't go right. And still taking that over as well as our social media, thank God. She's really helping out with player cards and making sure we get our sponsors, like all that kind of stuff lined up as well. And then we've got about 8 weeks to finish those little things up.
8 weeks, man. Ooh, that's not a lot of time, but you've done a magnificent job, masterful job of going out, recruiting, and filling a roster. So for you, the recruiting process to get guys, like Aaron and John and Raphael and Ben, like, was that just through connections of people that you knew, or was that online submissions or Instagram or social media? Like, how do you find the crew of people that you get?
Well, Aaron, I just told him he was playing. Like, it is what it is. He's not. I'm the reason he's in grid. I like me and Josh Rundle, and then he took last season off. A police officer. We're super proud of him. But then when I owned the team, you guys like say you're wearing yellow next year. Okay, I'm like, cool. So that was that. Raphael, we knew each other from before, and I was like, feel like playing, and I taught him triple touches on video, and that was really nice. Ben and John the DMs. Didn't really know either one of them, but really, really excited that they came on board. So a lot of, on the men's side, it was a lot of people sliding in the DMs. It was hilarious to me.
As men do.
Yeah, I mean, if we're good at anything, it's that.
We're gonna let it be known.
We're gonna shoot our shot. That's right.
The girls were a different story. The girls were me sliding in the DMs. It was super uncomfortable. All they can do is say no. So like, hey.
Takes a little longer to get them ready to get there. I got you.
Hey, it is. It's a process, that's for sure. Did you have any like in-house, like, face-to-face with anybody prior to, or like a combine setup, or was it just strictly social media?
So it was social media for the most part. And then like I met some people at their gym and went through some things with them. Did an interview. Funny story. I was a manager at Hollister right out of college. And so I kind of took our interview process that I learned from them and applied it here. Like, we're going to have steps. I know from past seasons what kind of the issues were with athletes, right? Like time commitment, knowing what the season is. If you know those things ahead of time, then you can make a real commitment to the team. And in my mind, it was, if they can make a commitment and they understand what the process is and they still want to do it, then those are the people we want.
Gotcha. What about sponsorships? How are we looking with sponsors? Because when I talk to owners and general managers throughout the league, the hardest thing for them is, not keeping the sponsors that they have, just kind of adding to the team and to the partnerships that they have. But for you coming in new with no one, how are you doing with that? How is that going? Is it difficult, relatively easy?
It's difficult on one hand because we are new, so we don't have a name to be like, oh, we were champs this year or conference or anything like that. So on that side of things, it's a little hard. But on the plus side of things, the people that we have are very personable and they know. So you kind of have to rely on that, and you have to rely on your person, at least for the first. So it's difficult. You get told no a lot and talking through, see what lines up. We have a few in the lineup right now that I'm hoping it'll work out because it's really good for those companies and for us as well.
So you get these sponsors and obviously you don't know what it entails, but it takes some work. It takes some swift talking, to market your team. But what I will say is the league does a good job of of having sponsors and utilizing like their brand to help new teams be able to establish that. So I'm sure that was part of it too. And I'm confident that the sponsorships will roll through there, especially once the season rolls around and they see what you guys have to offer. With sponsorship, is that a number that you're looking for, like, or is it like a value, or, you know, because I ask, and some people are like, I want 1 or 2 quality sponsors and that's what our go-to, but then there's others that are like, I'll take everyone that wants to be a part of this. Like, what's your philosophy on the partnership and the sponsorship as far as, you know, having a lot or a little?
I think that it's important with us being, you know, the first Texas team. For example, I my own businesses. I'm very big on support, and I would rather local Texas owned that we can have personally, just because I think that's important. But I'm not going to tell somebody no if it's like if their brand kind of lines up with our values, then I'm not going to tell them no, right? So come as you may. If it's a good fit, cool. If it's, I'll send you.
Absolutely. The alignment's got to be there for sure. And the biggest thing when you have a partnership or a sponsorship, you want there to be return on investment on both in both areas. Like, you want to be able to provide things for them and help them do the growth that they're looking to do by partnering with you. But you also want to get the return on the investment of having a partnership with them and continuing to have that. And sometimes that's monetary value. Sometimes that's product. Sometimes that's services. But you're right. It's got to be in alignment, and it's got to be, you know, a symbiotic like partnership, and it's got to mesh. But with meshing, let's talk about this. You got to build a team, and building a team is no easy feat. Of the gentlemen that are on with us today, who was the first person that said, "Yeah, I'm doing this with you"?
Aaron.
Aaron, what was it that Sophia said or did, or, you know, just didn't give you any choices? Like, how do you go, yeah, I'm committing to that? Because grid is fast paced, it's intense, it's nothing like, you know, you may have ever done before, and you may not even really know the ins and outs of the rules and how to play and like what goes into it. So how do you go, yeah, Sophia, I got you?
So with Sophia, she was the first person that got me into grid. I want like 3 years ago, and so when I decided to take that year off to become a police officer, I want to say it was about right at the end of her season with the Breakers when she told me that she was going to get a team and that she wanted me on that team. And if it has to do with Sophia, I'm going in there. Every time I'm going to be, I got her back no matter what.
I mean, that's pretty powerful, Sophia. When someone says it's you could have told me anything and I'll strap up and I'm ready to run through brick walls for you. But you know, one of the things I did notice is the fittest experience happened this past weekend, and I saw a lot of feats of strength, and I saw a gentleman by the name of John Young snatched 295, and he's not happy with that. And you know, I would love to not be happy with that snatch. But John, let me ask you, man, how do you know, you've been in CrossFit space for a while? How do you get hooked up with grid, and how does it transition to you getting hooked up with Sophia and the Bandits?
Well, I mean, I knew about Grid League, but it was just something I knew about, and then and that was it. I didn't like do any research on it or like watch it or follow it. I just knew that it was a thing. It got really big in the past, and then it went down, and then it's kind of on the come up, the comeback tour right now. That's all I pretty much knew. But then there was this announcement in Houston, and there was a Grid League team, and I just wasn't going to do it because it was all in Florida. It's really out of the way for me to go to or to like practice. Because when I want to do things, like I'm doing it, where the whole thing is like I'm going to be the baddest thing in this thing if I've decided to try to do it. At least to the best of my capabilities, right? Obviously, there's monsters out there, but And then I got like 50 DMs that Houston was having a team that you should I should be on, you should try to get on the team. I don't know what that looks like. And then I messaged the page, and then Sophia messaged me back. And then I was like, just, hey, tell me what you want, and I'll try to do it. If I can do it, great. If I can't do it, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
And I could do most of the stuff. And then from there, I just try to get as strong as possible, which was a refreshing break from CrossFit because I'm pretty fitness inclined or declined, however you want to word it. It's very hard for me to improve my cardiovascular ability.
I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, and then and that showed at the fitness experience because I was really bad at all the fitness stuff, and I was pretty good at the strength stuff. So yeah,
I mean, you definitely have a space. Like if you're snatching and if you're pissed off because you hit 295 on a snatch, there's definitely a space for you on a grid team. But
I honestly was only mad because Max had set the bar so high. A guy he's not on the podcast, but he's another guy on the team, and he thrustered 325, and I was like, all right, well, I need to assert dominance as the strongest guy on the team. Like this, I can't just be cool with this, right? And so that was the only way it was going to happen, and it didn't happen. And Max had the best lift of the weekend, and in my opinion, Max had the best lift of the weekend.
I mean, a 325 thruster. I even saw someone, from the team do a 295 thruster. I mean, Jesus,
that's weak sauce. Come on,
everything's bigger in Texas. Clearly, I mean, give me some of that sauce. I'll take it. I'll take it all day.
Hey, we gotta be careful with saying words like that, man.
I ain't doing the
I'm still in the
grid.
I can't. I'm not just full on grid. So let's.
But Raphael, how do you get swayed to be a part of the Bandits?
I've known Sophia for a couple of years now. We've done some team stuff, competition together, and we've kept that connection. And she's always talked about grid to me, and whenever the couples last season try it out, I was like, just like John's it's all in Florida. I'm like, that'd be hard to commit to. But when I found out she had a team coming here, or that she was making a team, she was like, hey, we're going to be here in Houston. Are you in? I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm in. Come on, let's have some fun then.
Gotcha. Ben, what's your story, man? Obviously sitting back there, chill, got the backwards hat on, you seem like the cool, calm, collected guy. You just, you show up, you show out, and you go home and put your feet up. But how do you get talked into this?
I got part of this thing. It was just it was random for me. I've been doing CrossFit for a little while, not long as these guys. They've been competing for a lot longer than I have for the most part. I kind of grew up doing soccer, and soccer was my thing. I grew into fitness as a strength conditioning coach. And then after that, it was just kind of, all right, let's figure out what I want to do. And I always was interested in Grid League. I'd watched it for, the past 6-7 years. And I was like, well, I'm the same way. I mean, it's far away. I don't know anyone in Florida. I can't just go train with them in Florida. So, all right. And then Sophia and the Bandits kind of came around and was like, holy crap. All right. Something competitive for me to do that requires short bursts of energy. I'm like, this is what I need. I'm not great at 20-minute AMRAPs. So Grid League is more of what fits my bill in that sense. So I was like, yeah, let's try it out. Let's go for it. So here we are. I'm ready to go.
I mean, it's an experience. I will say that. I've never, participated in grid, but watching it is there's just a level of intensity that's there that I haven't seen in a lot of sports. So it's pretty sweet that you get to be a part of that. Sophia, I go back to you, and when you look at this roster of men, you got John, who's obviously a strength guy. You've got Aaron, who's talking about the body weight stuff. Where do you see Raphael and Ben? What's their specialties? What position are they going for this year?
What's funny is all of them gymnastic stuff too. John's doing med ball ring muscle ups. Everyone's doing 10-inch deficit handstand push-ups. Raphael and Ben are seeing who's the fastest at the 9-foot 9-inch burpee to ring because they're both ridiculous. Raphael's clearing boxes. Ben's going to clear boxes just because Raphael's clearing boxes. And they're all doing. double touches and all the things. So they don't fit the like little specialist or their only utility player. Almost all of them. Raphael, you snatched 265 at the end of the weekend?
That was just a fluke, but my max is 285. I've hit that multiple times. I mean, I'm gonna catch up to John. Can't let John just be the only one at 300.
Yeah.
I'm flirting with 315, brother. We got
315.
Like,
I'll keep going.
Hey,
I'll keep going.
Don't shortchange John.
You can't
now.
talk
Come on.
trash if we're gonna do that. That's
I
But
mean, Ben's what, you're 310s now?
305 snatch and
Like they're all
385.
they're freaks. Why our hashtag is built different, because they are different. You know, Aaron's not a baby lifter either. He's got big weights over there too. Unfortunately for him, he's shorter than guys, so I need him on the gymnastics.
what's funny is I think Aaron cycles 175 hang snatches faster than all of us.
yeah, hell yeah.
Like
That's where the short part comes in.
He posted a video on Instagram or in the group, and Sophia's like, "This is how fast it has to be," and I don't think anything of it. Like, done. Let me go do this at the gym, make sure I got it right. And I was 2 seconds slower than Aaron. I'm like, oh, like goodness, like this is. He's very fast when it comes to barbell cycling, which is,
You know, and you bring up a good point when it comes to grid. Like it's very rare that you see people that can't just physically do one of the elements. It really comes down to efficiency and speed. And, you know, their strategy into it, Sophia, like you said, like having people who have shorter levers or longer levers doing certain movements. And like when it comes to repping out, you know, a hang snatch, like that time that Aaron could make up just having shorter levers matters. How much of that do you look at as far as like the strategy part, or is it strictly like, I recruited these people for these specific movements and I'm going to let them do their thing? Or do you really like test everyone in all of the elements?
I was literally testing kind of for an all around, but making note of where they were stronger. Right. So I know that John, putting him in triads probably would suck for him, but putting him in anything strength in the echoes and ladders. Right? I know that Raphael is going to in triads. He's got an engine. He drugged me and runs when we did team together. I'm like, they're dying. Going. I just because they're all rookies, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but because everybody's rookie, you've got when it comes to testers, which I've got testers this week. I'm gonna have to test more things than I usually would. Like Aaron, I know where I need to test him. He's got a handful, but the rest of them test all these things. You got 2 weeks of test to do because we just don't know, and they don't know either. They haven't.
Right.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun because I think that people are gonna surprise themselves as well. You know, like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, I'm really good at this. Or no, there is no way I can do that. That sucks. Can't do it.
So at what point do you look? At what point do you start getting the race formats? And at what? I mean, obviously you have some of the race formats from last year, but are there expectations that there will be new race formats?
So we have half the season already. The rest of the season we'll have at the end of February. Okay. So the first season we can already start testing and we have practice in a couple weeks, like a full on practice. We had some rookie training weekends. That was fun. Mirror transition was fun. Just nobody died. That's barbells more difficult, but I think people realize watching it.
Yeah. What are the race formats that you've been given? Are they new or are they what we've seen in the past? That is a terrible answer, Sophia. That's not what we're looking for. However, I could imagine that it's going to be a mixture of both, and you know, with rookies, it's all going to be new. So I want to kind of go around the horn here and get, you know, as a rookie, and I'll start with you, Aaron. As a rookie coming in, you know,
I've been here for 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. So you got balloons coming.
Oh,
But so that's even better then. So you have an idea,
Yeah.
but you took a break and now you're coming back. For the body and for just the stress and like all that goes into it, what is your expectations for this season personally?
can you talk about your first race though? Can we talk about that? You should ask him about his first match as a rookie.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's go there. Tell me about this first race. How
So
did this go down?
in the first race, I believe we were going up against the Palm Beach Palms or whatever. Yeah, and so something happened to the person that was supposed to finish the final sprint relay, and so I had been in pretty much everything before that. They put me in not the partner forward, but all of the other races, and so I thought that I was just going to end up going to the end and waiting for everybody to finish out the sprint relay. And then at the last second, they said, "Hey, you're going to do 25. You're going to do those 25 thrusters to end it." And it was so. When I got there, we had probably the smallest lead, so I ended up doing thrusters, and the guy that they have doing the thrusters at the end as well catches up to me, so it's a dead sprint the whole way. And right before I hit the finish line, I fall and literally have to roll into finish to win it. It was like, as that being my first race ever, I died at the end of it. I was literally crawling around everywhere
For an hour.
trying to get my composure back. It was something else.
I mean, that's
And Sophia
being
walked
thrown.
over and was like, every day, this right here.
She said, "Aaron, get your ass up. You ain't hurt. Get up."
Y'all have
Because
yeah.
Pretty much. So when you look at that moment and where you're at now, knowing you've got to go back to that mindset and that space again, like, what's the expectations for you this season? Is it just to, contribute and do the best you can, or is there like, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I want to do it this way or this time, or I want to be able to do this? Is there set goals or expectations for you?
Wherever the Banditos need me, I'll be there.
All right. I like that. John, confidence is something that a lot of elite athletes have to have, especially in grid. When you walk up to any barbell, you got to know that you're going to hit it. You seem like a guy who's very confident in the weights and the barbell and the movements. But for you getting into this first season, what are your personal expectations as far as like how you want to finish the season?
I mean, I enjoyed the chess match of it all. Like when, this will be Sophia's job, but like I like seeing, okay, like Ben can do these squats 2 seconds faster than I can do these squats, and like that means we're gonna put Ben here, we're gonna put Raphael here, and then I'm gonna go here, right? Or Aaron can do the handstand to parallettes, but he can also do the back rises. Let's take the hit on the back rises because we need him on the parallel. Just playing the chess game of pieces to get the fastest time. I like the strategy part about that. So as far as like what's required of me, it's just to be as strong as freaking possible. Like I go back and watch the good grid people who have stood out. Like I watch Griffin Raleigh, I watch David McKellar. I think he's one of the most underrated people in grid. McKellar, he moves so beautiful, and I don't think he gets enough credit on that team. The Ryan DeMatteis of the world, Josh Newell. Like I watch how fast they do things, and basically just try to be faster than them. It's pretty simple.
It's not rocket science.
No, it's not. And then like I know like everything they're doing, I just have to be faster than them at those things. And I get to time it. I know like I'm a rookie, right? I don't know anything. That's true. But I also get to figure out how fast everybody's doing it. And I just got to try to be faster. And then I just do that to the best of my ability and then let the cards fall where they may.
I will say
there's definitely
this team is full of guys that like they go in and they research. And if I send them things like, hey, go. And that's so helpful. It's so helpful. They don't have stats on us. They have stats on me. They don't.
That's what I was gonna say. There's definitely benefit to going into this and having the knowledge of how good everyone else is in terms of times and weights and what they can do, and they have zero on you. Like there is some like that's very beneficial because you know that they don't know what they're getting into when they come and they show up with you, and so the strategy that they might have to go completely out the window because now they're seeing it firsthand in real time what you guys are actually capable of. Raphael, someone who is going to be relied upon to move fast and also move heavy weights. For you, what are your expectations in this first season?
My expectation is just to be the best I can be for the team. I mean, it's a team sport, so wherever she plugs me in needs me to be, I gotta trust it for a reason, and I gotta trust my brothers that they're gonna do their job. So I gotta make sure I execute for them. Just like John said, it's gonna be all strategic. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I'll be the fastest. Like John or Ben or Aaron might be better at me at that. So it's just a trust that Sophia knows what she's doing, and we're all gonna execute. And I mean, our goal is to win it in the first year. So
Hey,
we're just gonna have some fun and show Houston's where you need to be at.
For sure. Ben, that leaves you, man. Expectations for you personally for the season.
Me personally, how are we PG on this podcast?
No,
So,
if
I mean,
there was a rating above M, it would be above.
So I mean, to put it in perspective is, I mean, to kick everybody's ass, put a name up there. We want to be up top. We want to be number one, and I think every single one of us would say the same thing. There comes an expectation personally. I want to be the best guy out there, but everyone else wants to do the same thing. Every single guy on our team, we compete with each other. If anything, like we talk crap to each other. We go back and forth. I know John does. John does it all the time. We all kind of just.
I just want everybody to have fun and be friends at the end, man. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I just go out and be the nicest guy I can be.
That's how he motivates, man. I mean, there's a piece of shit talking that like will fire you up, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know I had that in me.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to it. Like all of us want to be the best, so that's my expectations, to be the best.
I've heard about these group chats, and like every team has their own little group thread, and like it gets wild. Like literally, like the amount of shit talking that goes on, from what I hear in these group chats is just mind-boggling. And for someone like I don't even know how you guys get along. Like what I hear is like, and it's like I would want to fight somebody.
Listen, I have no problem admitting when somebody's better than me at something. If they're better, dude. Hats off to that guy. He is awesome. But you gotta be better. And if it's the stuff that I'm good at, it's gonna be really hard to be better. But I have no problem admitting it when it happens. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Hey, and that's the confidence that I'm talking about, man. Like a lot of times, like people will fold because someone else is confident, not in a demeaning manner. They're confident in the fact that I know what I'm good at, and I'm going to let you know that I'm good at this. But if you beat me, that means you've earned it, and I'll tip my hat to you, and I'll tell you you're good. But like you're gonna have to bring it if you're gonna beat me in this.
I think that's
Sophia. Go ahead.
Guys will talk shit to each other, but it's coming from like a loving perspective, right?
Sure.
They want to be better, and the ego isn't. It's not like having an individual athlete with an ego. It's having a team with their own little egos, set it aside for the team. That makes sense. Like
it's
better than me. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna work on that. But you're probably doing that movement because that was faster than me.
Yeah, you. There's no quicker way to kill the culture and the team aspect than to have a lot of egos just trying to like get in the way. And you've seen it, Sophia, probably over the years that you've been in Grid. Like that shit matters. Like egos and trying to balance those things and keep everybody in check, like that can be the cancer and the detriment of a team. And you could be as strong and as fast and efficient and good at every element on the grid, but if your ego is in the way and you're not team centered, that can really cost you and cost you big. But I want to talk to you a little bit before we get out of here. You know, being the first year, you could easily just say, I want to be competitive, and whatever the season brings me, it brings me, and like that's my expectation. But you know, what it sounds like is that you don't want to necessarily just be competitive. Like you want a shot to win it all. So, you know, have you really sat down and thought about what your personal or team, like your own individual expectations or goals for the team this season is?
I have. So I don't want to say we're going to go be champions. I don't want to put that pressure on myself, honestly. What I will say is I want everybody to go out on the grid. Oh shit, we have a problem. I don't want. I feel like as the underdogs, with the exception of Fico slides in my DMs all the time, the owner of the Sharks, like, quit signing such. I don't need you guys to be. Aw, you're scared. Good. The others have been kind of quiet. Obviously, got some friends brigade, got some friends over Venom too. So the way that the conferences are looking, it's going to be a good season. We're going to get and what takes out at the end, but we're not.
What I do know is I've talked to, you know, basically people from every team, and every team is built a little bit different. But the one thing that I have noticed is that the talent level has gone up a tier, but also the talent level has also, like, the difference in between being good and great is now way slimmer. So like the competitiveness that's going to happen this season, I think this is going to be the best grid season that they've had. I think it's going to be the most competitive season that they've had. I think point differential is going to really matter this season. I think I would like to say, like, you know, the team that wins it all is going to win every regular season match and roll through the playoffs, and they're going to establish that they're the best team. But just how close everything seems right now, like, I don't see that happening. Now, we might get 1 week in and I might see these people on the grid and I might go, oh shit, let me change my mind on that. But I think there's going to be a lot of balance on all the teams. There's going to be a lot of really good matches, and they're all going to be close. I don't think anybody's going to blow anybody out. I don't think anybody's going to just, unless there's just a debacle. I think it's going to be very competitive this season. You know, the one last thing that I want to ask you is, what do you have left to do? Like, what is the big ticket item that you were like, between now and the day that season starts, this is my biggest, like, I got to do this right now?
I want to run through.
Yeah. Yeah. Preach it, girl. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm hyped, Sophia. Oh, she's not done.
I mean, we can only imagine what the words of wisdom. So, Sophia, are you there?
Yeah.
I love this, and I love you, and I love the Bandits, and you are very, like, I'm pumped up. I don't even know what you said, but like, I'm pumped up right now. No, we didn't hear anything.
What? Oh.
So I'll ask you again. All right. The one big ticket item, like, that between now and the start of the season, you're like, I got to do this. I have to make sure this is done. What is that?
Well, now it's not as effective. Can you hear me though?
Oh, we can hear you now. It's
Okay,
going to be.
them through an entire match, start to finish. Like the whole team has to be together, and I have to start the clock, and they have to go, and that's it. All the weights, ladders, and everything included. Sell their little soul so they know what it feels like before we get out there.
Okay.
I don't want it to happen on day one if we're playing something that we really have to like. Sharks on day one. They need.
You
guys
like
knew,
in practice.
Yeah, you guys knew that you were going to have to sell your souls, right, before you could even step on the grid. Hope you knew that, because
that was in the contract that we
That
signed.
was, yeah,
that was,
that was in the
fine
contract.
print at the bottom that nobody reads. You're like, I'm assuming all risk and liabilities that go into this endeavor, but yeah, I mean, you have to. You got to know what that feeling is like, and I don't know. I'll ask you, Aaron. You've done grid before. You've done CrossFit. Like that similar feeling that you get in a terrible, Metcon. Is that the same feeling that you would get in grid, like being like collapsed over on the ground, or are they two totally different feelings that are both miserable in their own regard?
I want to say that they're two different feelings. Reason being, you never know if when you're feeling that in a CrossFit workout, if it's over, and then when you're in a grid match and it's happening and it is over and it's just continuing for an hour later because you literally gave it all you got. It's too different. Cause like I got to figure out a way to work through it compared to it's over and I'm still feeling it.
It's anaerobic and aerobic.
It is just
Very true. All those pathways that you learn about in that level one. If you've been through a level one, that's what we're talking about. You're gonna hit them all. All right, I'll start with you, Aaron.
yes, sir.
If the Bandits are champions in 2025, what's the one reason why that's the case?
Camaraderie and leadership.
Hey, is that because Sophia's on here?
I would say when it comes to different teams that I've been on through sports and everything, it's always if we did good, it was because we had good leadership and good coaching to help us through. The bad ones, there was always somebody or a group of people that just weren't about it or in there for the right reasons, and it kind of just drug everything down and didn't make it as fun.
Gotcha. John, what about you? If the Bandits win it all, why?
Yeah. I mean, I would, on top of that, I would say teamwork. If you go back and watch any of the grid matches, there are mistakes made that are so easily avoidable, like mental mistakes or just not knowing where you're supposed to be or not knowing when to substitute or stepping on the line when you shouldn't be in the line. All of that stuff are easy fixes that have cost people points. And if your team runs like a freaking military unit, you make none of those. So, but that's everybody knowing their role, everybody going all in together, and like we're together in this. So, I mean, I think teamwork, along with what Aaron said. I mean, I think they go hand in hand.
Definitely. Raphael, if the Bandits win it all, why?
Just like my brother just said, we put that all together, and it all comes down to the execution. We execute on game day each match. We're all in it. We're all on the same page, and we just go out there and do our jobs. And we'll be holding that damn trophy at the end of the season.
All right. Ben,
The trophy?
there's a trophy. There's a check.
It's like 12 feet tall. It's like
it's a big deal, man.
That'd be cool, man.
Ben, what about you?
I mean, just to piggyback off everybody else, it's a teamwork, dedication, execution. Those are the things you need to win this. And I mean, obviously, there's a little bit more to it. You got to want it, and I think all of us as the rookies, and a few of us, obviously not rookies, but we want it. We want to be the best. We're from Texas. We like to do everything big. So why not be the ones to do it? Be the champions on our first year. Let's do it. Why not?
And the way this team is built, we're all aiming for that, from the guys and our girls. Our girls are going to be something to watch out, too.
Yeah, definitely. You got to have that balance. That's for sure. Sophia, if you guys win win it all in 2025? What's the one reason why?
It's because of the team. I mean, it
Okay.
literally comes down to them and their hard work and what they've done. You have to be bought in. You have to know that this is what you're doing, and nothing else really matters during the season. And our team. That's it. I think this team got it.
You've been on it, you've been around it, so you know what it takes to win it all. You know what it looks like, you know what the balance has to be, and these guys are, in your words, they got it. Having them believe it, and like John said, like it comes down to little execution things, and you have to be flawless, because in a sport where seconds and half seconds are the difference between finishing first and second, like it matters. So shout out to you for putting together a great group. Shout out to you for chipping away at this whole ownership thing, because it's a big endeavor and it takes a lot, and building a team is first and foremost the most paramount piece, and it seems like you have the right pieces in place, and I'm looking forward to a big season from the Bandits this year. I don't want to put any pressure on y'all, but Texas is coming in hot. I mean, we'll see what happens. But Sophia, before you get out of here, anything you want to plug or promote?
No, man, just go to our page, like us, sponsor. You want to?
That's it. Aaron, what you got? Anybody you want to plug or promote or say hi to?
Just hi everybody because the Grid League. Can't wait to see you guys.
Let's go. John, what about you, man? Plug or promote?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay.
I look forward to going against everybody.
All right. Raphael.
Nah, I got nothing wrong. Just gonna have some fun. If you want to find out some more, come follow us.
There you go. Ben.
Yeah, right off what Raphael said, we're here to compete. We want to see everybody. Can't wait to get out there and kind of compete, and shout out to everybody that's expecting us not to do so hot. We're going to show expectations.
I don't know what you've heard, but I haven't heard anything. I've heard a lot of people who are eyeing the Bandits as far as oh shit, what do they have? That's the one thing that I keep hearing. A lot of chatter about what do they have? What are they bringing to the table? So, I'm here to tell them they're bringing a lot. So anybody that's wondering what the Bandits are bringing, listen to this and you'll find out a little bit. They're bringing a lot, so be ready. With that, Sophia, Raphael, Ben, John, Aaron, I appreciate y'all joining me today. I will definitely reach out to y'all on the side, and I'd like to bring you on and kind of showcase you on your own episode. That way we can kind of get a backstory and have more time and dig into all that if y'all are down for that.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it, Sophia. Hey, best of luck. Have a great season. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Reach out, and if you want to come back on and something happens and you want to vent or get it off your chest, let me know. We can come and we can hash that out too. So, but as always, I appreciate you guys for carving out some time. If you like hearing the story of the Bandits, you want to know what they got going on, follow them on all the social medias, on Instagram at the Houston Bandits. Go to the Grid League website, unitedgridleague.com. Go down to the bottom, click the Bandits logo, and you'll go right to their page. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great season. The Houston Bandits are not to be messed with. All y'all wanting to know what's up, I'm telling you, just be ready, be on the lookout. And with that is the show. I want to thank you guys again for joining me. If you like hearing stories like the Houston Bandits, or you just like hearing average Joes talk X's and O's, please share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on X, listen and subscribe wherever you stream your podcast. Head over to YouTube, click subscribe, hit notifications so that you are the first one to know when we drop new content, which is every single day. Next show we got on Thursday. We're going to be talking to Palm Beach Breakers' newest member, Dylan Fullwood. He's transferring. He's swapping teams. We got to get that story. We're going to be talking to Shay Newell. It's the second time she's been on. She's going to give us her outlook on the Alabama Combine that the Breakers had, but she's also going to tell me what she's got planned for this season. And then we're going to have Vita Vetterkind joining them as well. big time player for the Breakers. She's going to give us her backstory and tell us what she's got planned for this 2025 Grid League season. And with that, this has been the Grid and Grind Show. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grid and grind all the time. We're out.